Hey everybody. Hello. Hello. Yeah, tag. Welcome to the Alexyss K. Tylor Celebrity Reads. I know that I'm late, so if you don't know I'm going to be live and you can't come, it's okay. I'm going to leave this here for you tonight, so you'll be able to see it tomorrow or anytime you'd like to look at it. I am very, very tired. Hi, Alvin. I'm so exhausted because I've been doing so many readings in between trying to do this. I want to thank everybody that has given me donations, and I want to thank everyone that has gotten 15-minute readings for me, 30 minutes, an hour, which I've given you all extra time since I'm running this special. And what I like to do, I want you to know ahead of time. You don't have to be afraid of dealing with me, because if you get a 15-minute one and you ask me a main question, now you cannot ask a whole bunch of questions in 15 minutes. But if you ask me a question and you have 15 minutes, I'm not going to hang up on you if the 15 minutes is up. I'm going to stay on the phone with you to make sure you understand, you overstand what it is that I'm trying to say to you before we get off the phone. I don't care if I have to give you another 30 minutes. That's how I do things. I don't want you to come to me and then, hi you, Shani. I think I'm saying that right. Hi, baby. I want to make sure you understand. And then what happens too, that I don't have to do, that I choose to do. If I'm doing 15 minutes for you or any other reading, you ask me one question, and as I stay on the phone, if I need to make things clear to you and something else comes up, or a ancestor or a being, something else you need to know that you didn't ask me. Thank you, Nikki. I love old school. I love vintage. I love anything from the old school girls. Hey, Linda. I also will share that just for people that don't know me, to get a feel of me, to see how I read, because there are so many people that do this. And I also want to say, now tonight the reading is on NIPSEY HUSSLE, and his beautiful name, birth name, I think I don't want to mess it up, Armayas Ashkidom. Absolutely gorgeous name, gorgeous young man. I've been working on his reading and spending time with him for about a week now. Every day I do a little bit, but it's been more difficult. Ooh, I feel a male's presence very strong, a tall, slim male. And there are animals here. Some of these animals are from Eritrea and Ethiopia. They're from Africa. Oh boy. There's a hyena. You know, when I started looking at this, I think I started looking at it Monday, and I'm going to tell you what happened. But, let me wrap that up. Don't be afraid to come do a reading with me and think I'm going to just cut you off. I'm not. I'm offering a special. I give people a lot of time. You want to ask me any questions about the reading, contact my email at alexysktylorvp@gmail.com, alexysktylorvp@gmail.com. Something else I want to say. Oh yes, I wanted to let you know, when I did the last reading on Avenatti, R. Kelly, and Azrael's father, Mr. Clary, I got possessed, and I've gotten possessed since I was like 12, probably 11 to 12 years old, and but people don't usually see it in public. So some people were upset, and they were worried about me, and they text me and they email me and they call me and said, well, were you sick or were you all right? And I said, that's funny, I thought you all understood. No, I wasn't sick. When I went into the days, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm sorry. I went into trance. No, that was the spirits walking into me and possessed me. They've done that all my life. I just, it used to happen in my old videos before YouTube started taking a lot of my videos down, taking my old pages down that you can't see. And people started saying they could see it, and they knew when I was talking, and then at certain minutes and seconds, they would see that it wasn't me anymore, or something would take me over. So I'm just telling you now, at the beginning, so that people that love me and that are concerned about me don't worry. And you think some things, I'm sick, I'm not sick. I don't have any heart problems or lung problems, nothing like that. I'm not dying. I just go in trance and I let them do it. A lot of people get possessed in the spirit, and you know what? I think it's an honor. So I don't try to stop it. I don't tell them to go away. I'm just honored to be one of the ones that they pick. Okay, so now you know that, so you won't worry. Okay, let me tell you what happened to me. I don't know if she's gonna see this. She told me I can't use her name. I didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was. I never listened to his music, never followed him. Hey, beautiful Christina. I didn't really. I think I had heard of the name vaguely, but that's it. And now I've been listening to him. He kind of reminds me of Snoop Dogg. I love it, love it. That song I keep posting, that favorite song of his, when he said them niggas. I love that song. I kept posting. That's my favorite one of his so far. I love his energy. I love his style. And a lady that I never heard of before, I think it was March. I remember I told you all this stuff was going on in March because we're still in Lent. Lent is the 40 days where Jesus is in the desert being fasting and being tempted by Satan. We're still in the period of Lent. We just came into the spring solstice, and then this has happened right after that period, and we just had the big total solar eclipse, and he gets killed right after. So these things are not coincidences. I was also afraid to do the video because so many people are saying, y'all need to stop it with this conspiracy shit. Y'all need to stop it with the government shit. It was just two friends having a beef. And so I didn't want to do the reading, but before I knew him, let me tell you, this lady contacted me March 25th. And she says, I would like to know, how much of a donation would you ask me for if you would do a reading on Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London? And I didn't know I knew who Lauren London was, but I didn't know who Nipsey Hussle was. I think I heard of the person. And hi Ricky, when she asked me to do it at first, I never felt this way before, but I felt like my heart stopped beating. I had no emotion, and I felt a flat line. And so I said, well, I could do it for you privately. I don't want to do it publicly. Hi, Lisa. And I said, why? Like, I felt like something was telling me to stay away from it, or, like it was just there's gonna be a flat line, and my heart felt like it stopped beating. And I said, oh, this is not good. I didn't know. I know flat line and heart stop beating is death, but I didn't think it meant physical death. And so then I looked him up on YouTube and I saw him. I said, oh, okay, I heard his name, but I don't know him. But then I never seen what he looked like. But I knew Lauren, and I said, I'll do it for you. I'll do it privately. She didn't answer. And then he gets killed Sunday. And then I get the creeps because I had mentioned it to two other women, and they said, girl, Nipsey Hussle, like, why would she, do you know him? She said, yes, I do. And I said, I don't really know who he is. I don't know why she would ask me of all people. And then she asked about the clothes. She said, tell me what's going on with his business. Tell me what's going on with him. Tell me what's going on with London. Are they in love? What's their love life? What's that really like? And I said, why would you want to know that? Who's this person? And right, like the day or so before, as I'm talking about him, the next day, he's murdered. And I said, oh, fuck. This lady just asked me to do this like 4 or 5 days ago. I find the email, and I said, hey, I need you to call me. Do you still want me to do this reading? I want to do the reading. And so she finally answered, and I said, what in the fuck made you, out of all people, out of all celebrities, why did you email me and ask me to do Nipsey Hussle? She said, I don't know. I said, did the spirit tell you? She said, I don't know. It just came in my mind. I said, well, it didn't just come in your mind, right? For you to come to me with some shit like this, like 4 or 5 days. It was like March 25th, March 26th. I have the email, and she told me I could share the story. And so she said, well, since he's dead, I didn't think, oh God, somebody's touching my hand. They're putting their hand in my hand. It's a long, very, like, kind of big, but a long hand, but it's very thin. It feels like a male hand. And she said, well, I didn't think it meant anything. I said, he's not dead. The physical body is. I said, girl, this is going to go on for a long time because of the way it happened and the circumstances around it. People are going crazy. His music has gone up. More of us know him that didn't know. The sales are through the roof. I said, and I want to know because something weird had happened to me. All of my readings, like a couple of my readings, and the lady that I did the reading on, she gave me permission to share this because I don't share people's business, even anonymously, unless they give me permission. Yeah, Ro, he hasn't crossed over. It's too soon. It's too soon to cross over. I wouldn't want him to cross over because there's too much fuck shit that happened with this and that is still happening with this. He's not at peace. He's worried about his children. He's worried, and I'm going to tell you something. I didn't know who it was because I think Monday when I started looking at it, I was sitting on the floor and I said, well, where was he shot? Because they just said body shots and one headshot. And this, hi Ishmael. And I said, well, is there any angels? Because I started feeling spirits. I said, oh, Goddess Mother, I'm glad you mentioned Dr. Sebi. I'm going to get to him, his motherfucker ass in a minute. Dr. Sebi off the goddamn chain. He been in here cussing me out all week. It's been NIPSEY, Dr. Sebi, Lisa Left Eye Lopez ass, Martin Luther King, Malcolm, hey Skinny, Sam Cooke. Who else has been in here? My house has been full. I am so tired. I don't know what to do. Hi, Ray. There have been some demons in here as well as some ancestors. Let me tell you. There's another woman. She has a relative name. The last name is Baptiste. And she asked me to look at him. She said, this is my father. I'd like for you to look at him and see if he has anything to say. So I look at him for her. She gave me two men to look at. For some reason, I liked Mr. Baptiste, and he liked me. So I said, well, I'll see if either one of them to talk to me. And Mr. Baptiste, he started to talk to me. And I said, I love that name. He said, I feel like John the Baptist. And I said, why do you feel like John the Baptist? He said, because I was sacrificed. They did black magic on me because they didn't like my wife and they were jealous that I was so in love with her. He said they put a demon on him to make him a drunk, and his mama, his sister, and all of them was drunks. And then when I asked him, where did this come from, the problem, he went in the graveyard and started pulling. He pulled a brother up out the grave. He pulled his father up out of the grave. He pulled a female out of the grave. And then when I asked the lady that had me reading, she said all of his relatives are dead except one sister. And I said, he said that sister's the one that cast the spell. But then he focused on the mother, his father. Well, his mother was a drunk. He focused on his father and brother. Thank you, Ray. Same to you. And the father and brother, she went in behind my back and told her mother what I said. The mother wanted to talk to me. And the mother shared more insight on it and said that her ex, Mr. Baptiste, father and brother hit on her on the low. I mean, just a messy ass family. And then I said, wait a minute, let me go watch the story of John the Baptist, which ties into NIPSEY. Because John the Baptist, as you all know, if you don't know, you can find out, I think was under a prophet named Elijah. He foretold the coming of a prophet more powerful than him, which was Jesus. And the king who had him locked in the dungeon was in love with the queen's daughter, and the queen told her daughter to seduce the king to get him to cut off the head of John the Baptist and put it on a platter, and which is what he did. Mr. Baptiste died from a brain aneurysm, which would also be head trauma, causing death because of the head. Thank you, Lawi Ashe. And so he was sacrificed. He was crucified for the sins of others. and a powerful prophet. And then Baptiste said he was crucified, and that's what happened to him. He literally drank himself to death. And he also told me that an aneurysm started in the gut, and then it traveled. And then I'm seeing the one in the head, which ruptured, and he died from the trauma of the aneurysm tearing up the head. Then, Tupac came to me around NIPSEY. So I'm seeing these people that are crucified, and then Ogun is over this reading. And I saw a dead man that is friends with NIPSEY standing at a four-way stop sign. He was on one of the four corners waiting for NIPSEY. So I don't know how long he's gone. He had on blue. I saw him standing there. And so I don't know if it's a four-way stop sign near NIPSEY's store or the house, but he was looking around, and I knew his body was dead. He was looking out. He was waiting for NIPSEY. Yes, he's a Eritrean and Ethiopian, but let me tell you something. Oh, yes, I'm glad you said it, because Haile Selassie has also been in here all week standing with NIPSEY. Now, NIPSEY's not talking to him, so I don't know if there's an issue with the Eritrean and Ethiopian bloodline from NIPSEY's father and family, but Haile Selassie has been trying to talk to NIPSEY. I don't see NIPSEY engaging him, but Haile's still standing there. He's been in here also a week. He hasn't really said much to me, but he's very proud of NIPSEY. But I don't see NIPSEY really talking to. It's a four-way by his store. Thank you, Ro, because I see that make me hear the song Crossroads. And let me tell you something else weird that happened to me. When I woke up this morning, I heard Snoop Dogg. So I'm going to see if Snoop Dogg do something new around NIPSEY or come up with some new projects or something, because I got the same vibe, and the way that NIPSEY would say certain things remind me of Snoop. I woke up and I heard Snoop singing "Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me." And I said, damn, that tie into this. So I went on YouTube looking. I said, let me watch the "Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me" video. And then I seen a movie, a little short movie, and I never seen it before. And I'm just going to touch on this and leave it alone, because I don't know what the fuck it mean. But when I looked at the theme of "Murder Was the Case," Snoop was fucking this girl that was fucking another gang member, and on the low got her pregnant. I said, don't tell him, but, I'm going to come over there and we're going to be together. And the guy was eavesdropping on the phone and then tried to jump on her and tell the house his friends made him leave so he wouldn't hurt her. And then they got in the car. Oh, yes, they do. He sound like Snoop. And I think they know each other. I'm not sure if they ever did anything together, because I just saw Snoop shout him out on the video. And I noticed the girl was pregnant, and then the guy got in the car and seen Snoop with his friends and shot him, and Snoop was hurt really bad and died temporarily. And then the devil came to him and said, you tell your son, hey Mama Doris, I love you too, that he was going to make him a star. Oh really? NIPSEY was Snoop Dogg's protege? Because I said this murder was the case they gave me came into this. I'm glad you said that, Katrina, because I don't know if you remember, if you heard my Wendy Williams part 2 when I did in February for the Super Bowl Atlantis. And I said because the Los Angeles had came to Atlanta, that was the ram and the goat head. They brought that and they opened the portal here. And they released CERN and released the Baphomet energy, and it was going to also tie into the hip-hop. And some of those real rappers were going to be destroyed. Hey, Aris Mecca. Destroyed and replaced. There was getting ready to be conflict, and a death spirit was released. If you go back and listen to part 2, Wendy Williams, but then it went into the Super Bowl that was here. And I said, I saw this line that moves from Atlanta, New York, and LA. And then I look at it, he is given birth to in Los Angeles, the city of angels. An angel gave birth to NIPSEY. And then we know that the original queen and the one that controlled California was a black queen, until they got rid of her and destroyed her and really keep that knowledge on the low. So he was born from the womb of the city of Los Angeles, Los Angeles. And I saw, so that's why I'm going to touch this briefly, that there may be, I saw the children, but I don't know if Lauren is pregnant, or going to find out she's pregnant, or if there's a three-way relationship and there's another, yeah, Khalifa, thank you. Or is there another woman that's pregnant, or did they have a three-way relationship? Was there two women, or is another woman going to come forward that we don't know about, that he was dealing with, that is pregnant? So that's all I'm going to say about this, and we know this is surrounding a murder. Hey, Epiphany. I also want to say what they told me, because we see some coincidences with this, since they're saying we're being conspiratory. This is the 13th year of the anniversary for the ATL movie that Lauren London was in with T.I., and I don't know for part 2, and so that's the day March 31st, so maybe that's a coincidence. I see that he is a Leo, that he's a lion, his ruler is Sun, and the ruler is Mars. So we know what Mars deals with, and like I said, Ogun, the Orisha Ogun, is all over this reading. And I also sense a magic energy around this energy, this circumstance. Some type of magic was done, and one of the orishas that was called was Ogun. So it bothers me that he did not have any Ogun protection put on him to avoid this happening to him, because I'm seeing that someone wanted him dead. Actually, several people. And then I heard the name Samael. Samael, and I'm like, who is Samael? Because I didn't know him or know who his people were. And he said Monday, I said, because I was calling out angels, I said, well, maybe that's it. Do you feel the angels? Is it Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriah? Is it Samael? He said, Samael, yes, Samael. And I said, yes. He said, yes. He was saying it like that. He was smiling, yes. And I said, you like that angel? He said, no. I'm not talking about the angel. Samael. I said, okay, let me write that down, because I don't know who that is. And when he was saying it, I felt the Samael very close. He was touching. He was holding. And then I hear yesterday, his brother, same as Samael, his brother was with him. And he was talking to him, holding him, trying to help him to hold on, and trying to resuscitate the chest. I said, that's who he loves. Samael loves him. And I said, wow. You know, to hear that. And they said he worked with him. And this is what they told me, especially when I'm dealing with the Ram energy, and I'm seeing that's also Los Angeles, the Baphomet, the Ram energy that came to Atlanta with the 666 and 1, and then take it from Atlanta past New York, go back to Los Angeles, the city of his angels, where the angel gave birth to him. They are telling me that is also into play. And then I saw a black bull with the horns. And they call it the sacrifice of the black bull. The ritual of the sacrifice of the black bull. That is what NIPSEY is. That's what he represents. The black bull. And so I look it up, and they lead me to Apis. A-P-I-S, you can Google this, is the bull. And that bull is tied to Osiris, Horus, and Hathor, the gods and the goddess of the underworld. I think even Ptah came up. And so when you oh boy, I hope it doesn't. When you try to kill the black bull Apis, he resurrects. You don't kill him. He lives again. He dies to live again. So that's who he represents, a great bull. And he came to bring about change. And then I look at his father, because let me tell you something. I looked at Nipsey Hussle, But then I looked at Ermias Ashkidam, and I get totally two different readings. Two different people. So I said, let me listen to... Oh, yes, let me also tell you the books, the Emerald Tablets, the Book of Enoch, and guess who else? Prodigy, along with Samael, came up, as well as Tupac. And let me tell you what happened to me. Last year, like towards the end of the year, a lady called me, and she wanted a 15-minute reading, and she told me that she was friends with Prodigy. And she had a dream about Prodigy, and Prodigy was trying to speak to her, and she wanted to know what Prodigy had to say. And I said, well, why? She said, but I'm just like you. I said, so why are you calling me? If you're just like me, and you knew him personally, I didn't know him. So why don't you ask him and see what he has to say, since you met him? I never met him, and you were buddies with him. She goes, well, this is what I want. He told me he wasn't dead. He just said, I'm not dead. I said, okay. What else did he say? She said she couldn't hear it. So I want you to do the reading, and I'm going to go repeat it and say that I did it. I said, oh, wait. Yes, Apis, what you said? Yes. And I said, you're going to do this. Yes, and the lady just told me too, NIPSEY's son is named Cross, which was like the crossroad, but I would also say double cross, even triple cross, or crucifix cross, turning upside down. I said, no, I'm not doing that, because spirits take longer to speak to me. I said, Prodigy is a talker, so I cannot get all that in 15 minutes. So if you want to do a 30-minute or hour, let me sit with it, and I'll tell you what he's saying. And she didn't want to do it. She wants something for nothing. And so I said, well, you go do that to go fuck someone else, but you aren't take advantage of me. I don't appreciate that at all. So while she's on the phone, I'm trying to hurry up and cut this shit short, because I know how these things go. And sometimes when I'm on this phone with someone, those spirits they'll catch on, and they'll find the link into the phone conversation. And as I'm talking to her and I'm trying to get off the phone, all of a sudden, I see Prodigy standing there, staring at me. And then, ODB. I said, ODB! ODB, that you, ODB! He's standing there with some damn ankle boots on, with one foot sticking out, laying it back on the heel, one pants leg down over the ankle boot, one pant leg up, twist on the other down ankle, where he got his heel stick up, his toe pointed up in the air. About some few plaits up here sticking up, with some hair loose standing on the damn side. I said, ODB, your ass still crazy. I said, hey, ODB. He's talking about, yeah, and had a pick. And had some Indian with him. Had some Native Americans up there in New York with him. And some niggas are talking about they want to come back over here and start some shit. And get to fighting and jump on these people that set him up. He said he was set up. He said, yeah, I was on that shit. I was on that narcotic. But see, they had set me up. And I'm looking at him, and then I'm looking at Prodigy. He looking at me, and he talking about Illuminati. I said, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. I know how they do. Hang up the phone. Your 15-minute up in the motherfucking way. I've been talking to you almost an hour. Get off the phone call. I know how they is. They done tune in on me. You talking about Jay? They done tune in, and then ODB standing there looking like kind of like this with his hair different way. And them damn ankle boots, man, with that pants flipped up on the side. And I'm like, I can't, no. Because I know ODB is a cusser and a talker. And Prodigy is a talker. I said, they'll have me up all night, and I love both of them. I want to listen, but you don't want to give me nothing to do that shit, and I got other reading shit to do. Well, And Prodigy said one thing. He said, there's finna be a famous rapper that's finna be killed. I said, where? In Atlanta? He said, no. He said, up north. I said, New York? He said, near that way. He said, but more toward L.A. And then I ain't saying, I just been watching. I said, no, people think I'm crazy because I didn't get the full reading on Prodigy and ODB ass. He had got up with them damn dirty heel boots. They looked like some pleather boots. They were gray like. Girl, get off the phone. And I hurry up. I listened to that part first, but then I got off the phone and she didn't call me back. So I guess she wasn't serious, wanted something that never left my mind. I told a few friends about it and I've been looking at this shit. And then when this happened, I said, when I got that email, I knew that's what Prodigy was saying. And then I looked at NIPSEY, kind of remind me of Prodigy. They kind of got the same body type and shit, slim like that. And that slim face and kind of to the side. I said, damn, I should have went on and did that Prodigy. Prodigy came in here. I'm so fucking tired and wore out. I'm just making myself do this. To get this done. Maybe some of them will get at my house. Now, I love NIPSEY. I love his spirit and his energy. And then Lisa Left Eye Lopez was pretty cool. And it was Mo SEBI ass was off the goddamn chain. Follow me around my house, damn barefooted, standing back in his knees with that white dress-like thing on, cussing. And told me, and I said, but Doc said, why you got to cuss me out? Like, why you, what I wrote it down. He told me, don't call, I am not talking to you as SEBI, you call me Alfredo. I said, okay, so I'm not talking to you as Dr. SEBI right now. Don't call me Dr. SEBI. You call me Alfredo. I said, okay, I won't call you Dr. SEBI. I said, tell you about this motherfucker. I said, okay, Dr. SEBI, look, you ain't gotta talk to me like, I said, don't call me Dr. I said, okay, you gotta talk, why you keep following me up, cussing me out? He done did it by Friday. And I'm like, no, NIPSEY, yes, he's a Leo, but they're very strong. Well, you know, me and SEBI is Sagittarius. So I understood he didn't really mean no harm. He wasn't cussing me like that. Like, you know, that's not what I mean. He just was very fiery and very passionate. So we understand each other. Because his birthday, I think, like a day before mine. He November 26th. I'm November 27th. So, you know, I don't really take... But I'm like, you're not finna keep on following me around, bullying me and punking me and shit. Nah. Then he sit there, he stand back in his leg and was just damn barefooted. So I said, fine. Y'all don't care if you walk around here barefooted and shit. But why are you upset, Dr. SEBI? I know you... Alfredo, I know you're not... Are you saying that this was done because of you? He said, no. I'm not saying that it was done because of me. Let me explain to you, because the girl that asked me to do it, girl, you're not barefooted. You walk around here with barefooted, with that dirt around her heel, and some dirt on her big toe. I told him I didn't care. I like your energy. You crazy and shit. I understand this shit. So I know you don't mean no harm to me. You can stay long you want to stay. What he said is this. Now, I'm gonna tap on it. I ain't gonna stay on it too long, because I don't know. So, you know, these are just reading. I forgot to say that first. This is for entertainment only. It's alleged what the fuck I'm saying, because it's a spiritual reading. So, cause I don't, you know, I'm sure no matter what I say, people gonna feel some kind of goddamn way. But this shit, it's just for entertainment purposes in this bitch. I think I allegedly heard this shit. So, Dr. SEBI, aka Alfredo, told me when he was, Dr. SEBI said he liked to fuck and liked to drink, you know, a little bit and smoke his shit. Okay. He said that he know that he liked to fuck, and that's what got him in trouble, having them cheering and stuff by them different women's. Okay. Nah, I don't know about it and how many it is, but I heard that he got a lot of cheering by different folk. This not allegedly, because I seen one of his wife and children said his shit. He just admit to me he like women. He loves women. That's what got him in trouble. So that ain't my ass. I ain't got to lead that damn shit. He likes his dick. Swinging it around at 80 years old. So, he told me, and then that's when Lisa walked in. He said that one of the reasons that he has not gotten where he wanted to go, because what he told me is that by now he's very frustrated. He said he had been spiritually blocked and there was a demon on him. And there's a demon on Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and it looked like the demon I seen in here with R. Kelly Mama and Jane Cleveland. A lust and a real freaky demon that like to fuck. Yeah, I think Lauren London is a Sagittarius too. And he said that some women that he dealt with, he said when Lisa was over there, when Lisa Left Eye Lopez had went over there in Honduras and was doing her fast after she burnt her damn boyfriend, Atlanta Falcons. See, that go back into that shit. That black, red, and white sacrifice shit. See, that was the old Atlanta stadium that they tore down to build a new Mercedes stadium for the new Super Bowl this past February, see. So, see, she was a sacrifice anyway, fucking with Andre Rison, big, fine, hoish A's, okay? So, said Andre Rison was whooping Lisa Left Eye Lopez ass and doing that narcotic. Lisa Lopez was a drunk. Now, I don't know if she was popping pills or doing other kind of drugs, but she was getting high. Right? She was living in a house down here. I remember the shit, and it was all on the news. They fight, they fuck. They fight, they fuck. They do a little fucking and fighting and getting fucking high and drunk. Right? He whoops her ass. She was damn yay big. He a big nigga. Big fine ass nigga. So I don't know how she whoops him, but she said she whoop his ass a little bit. He flip over and whoop her ass a little goddamn bit. But when she get up, she the one that got all the black eyes and bust lip and shit. He don't. So she got tired of it, and then he was real whorish. She told me, I don't know, said the nigga go both ways. Said he was fucking men and women and on that damn narcotic. She said she come in the house one night. He in one room. They had a badass mansion. He in there butt naked. So she go in the room, open the closet. Another woman standing in there with some, I don't know, some purple shoes or some pink stocking and shit. So he can freak it while in the house they live in while Lisa Left Eye Lopez gone. She jumps on his ass by that shit. See, he kept fucking around and horse, but didn't want her to show revealing clothes, show her body, and she was constantly controlled. She couldn't go nowhere. She couldn't have no friends. Couldn't talk to nobody and shit. But then he out here fucking every damn body, damn sister and fucking auntie and damn nephew. See? So she got tired of it. He whoops her ass again. And she said she started cutting into herself. And went in there and set that damn man's house on fire. You can still see the footage on YouTube. This ain't leg. She set that motherfucker on a blaze, honey. That go back to that goddamn song, Tear the Roof Off the Motherfucker. We don't care, let this motherfucker burn. Because this was fucking burning. Locked her little bit ass up. She got off with this shit. Just went to rehab for being an alcoholic. Okay, after that, she goes over, find out about Dr. SEBI. Get over there, she a dick one, because Andre Rison must have had a good piece of pipe on him. He's a master pipe layer, honey, called to make her catch the nigga and take them ass whooping and shit and set that house on fire. And got back with him. He came back to her and seen her when she was locked up in rehab and shit. Go over there to Dr. SEBI. Okay, now she told me she also got a demon on her. The demon been following her since before she died. So she took the demon on the airplane over there. He went on the trip over there in Honduras. So he getting his treatment and drinking that shit while she taking them herbs and drinking that shit over there, meditating for 40 days and 40 nights. The demon hooked on her over there. Dr. SEBI, they said they put one on him and did magic on him, and that them damn roots and that African and Mexican magic on his ass for his dick. Said them women, and some of them women didn't like Lisa being over there because they thought that Dr. SEBI was fucking her or wants to fuck her, and that he liked it, her, hey Lauren, and that they was jealous. Some of them women over there at that Honduras center was jealous of Lisa and thought that something was going to go on with her and Dr. SEBI, or was going on, or that she might take something from them or block them in some kind of way. So he said that they put a spell on him. Them women's that he was dealing with, not just the regular women, like ones in his circle that he was dealing with, because some of those women felt like, well, what's going to happen to them, or what's going to happen to their children? They really wasn't sure, so they wanted to protect it because they know he loved women and he was vulnerable, very kind of loose and easy. So glad I never got a dingling that made me too crazy. Yeah. Said that they were trying to make her leave and create an obstacle for her. But then I'm seeing, she told me, and you know what? The way she was talking, she wasn't like Dr. SEBI. She looked at me in my eye, because she came and stood by Dr. SEBI while he was up there getting on me and telling me that I needed to research this stuff. I need to see what he's saying, and I need to verify it. I need to help him. And she was she was very calm, and she's had a lot of time to think about what she did and the way she handled things, and she had come to terms with a lot of things. And she was basically taking responsibility for things that she knew that she was responsible for. And I looked at her in her eyes, and I just said, yes, I understand. And I'm just learning from her, and now I'm verifying. Lisa told me she wanted children. She didn't want to die. She wanted to be back in her body, but she knew also when she burnt that house up, some of them women, and you know, he had insurance, got money, so they rebuilt it. He really didn't lose nothing, but it was just the way it was done. It was somebody she got in an argument with, and something she said. It was several women and several people we don't know about, with things she would say when she would get heated or felt like she was done wrong. She said it had to do with some women. It wasn't just the women in Honduras. It was some women over here. There was black magic, like a death spirit, put on that girl. It's still with her. It follows her, and it's chained to her. So I looked at her, and I could see it. And I said, I understand. So that's what you felt. That she said, I know who did it. And it was, she mentioned females. It was several over here, but it was a foreigner over here too. She didn't know that they were into that until she got in an argument and said some nasty things and made some threats. And it was also around Andre Rison. She became a sacrifice. I don't want to say for him, but when I look at that falcon, and I know that in Atlanta, that's the symbol, the phoenix, the female, which is the Egyptian holding the phoenix to rise again. I think the statue's down in Woodruff Park. I know the red, white, and black, because I seen the suit with NIPSEY having red, black, and white on. That's the sacrifice color. That's the code. And I know the falcons. When she was with Andre, he was with the falcon. That's the black and red and white code, which will also represent Elegua and El Diablo, the other side of Elegua, the dark side. So I already knew that's she, and she knew. She said she knew she was going to be a sacrifice because she didn't know how to get it off. And it was very aggressive, a very hot spirit and male. And she said it went over there. So when she was clean and coming to Dr. SEBI, that's what she was trying to do, repent, because she said she wasn't ready to go, but she knew she had done some things and offended some people, and she still doesn't know how to release because nobody has helped her cross over. And then the women, Dr. SEBI said, did it to him and wanted her to leave, but she didn't want to leave. So they wanted creating situations to set them up. Dr. SEBI told me, And I don't know why he thought that was going to work. But you know how, we Sagittarius can be sometimes. He had this cure for HIV, AIDS, herpes, all these things. You come here. Oh, I'm not, sorry. Lisa was supposed to do it. She was doing a documentary. She was supposed to introduce him to the United States. I don't know why she thought that was going to work. Because you're in a system that does not condone that. You're in a system that have their own medicine, their own doctors, their own system. And they weren't going to allow him into that system. Because you cannot make money off of curing people quickly. Most of the people here, as we know, we have relatives or it's us. They're on some type of medication and it's a chronic condition and they take it for the rest of their lives and it doesn't get them well and then they have other illnesses and side effects associated with it. So I don't know why he thought that that was going to work out to establish a kingdom within a kingdom that is anti what you bring in. It's anti your nature, they're anti-nature. I don't know why nobody didn't have that talk or he just would not listen because he was so excited about elevating and opening up people of color. Lisa was with it and thought it. And it shows this is what he said to me, allegedly. He said they wanted, people close to him within his circle. It was revenge. It was anger towards him. Now that's before we get to NIPSEY. So this is not NIPSEY doing it. And this is not done directly because of NIPSEY doing the documentary. This is how he explained it to me. There's some shit that already had jumped off. And Lisa was over there with that. It was some indirect bitch shit, some pussy and dick shit. That's what he's saying, and money. And his money. And the future of his empire that he wanted to build. And he was saying he was set up to be ambushed, isolated, put in a position where he could not run, he could not move. And someone put near him, he said something about a Spanish person having something to do with helping to kill him while he was in jail. But he had to be jammed where he couldn't get away. That's how he feels. Allegedly, he feels somebody had something to do with jamming him in the jail and killing him. That's, not directly real. That's not what Dr. SEBI is saying to me. It's a separate issue, but they intersect. That's what I'm trying to give you the lines on how they intersect. Now, I'm still not saying that people are going to be happy about that and wanting him to do that. The powers that be. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying this started before NIPSEY. But the energy is still moving through it, though. And he's saying white people directly did not do this to him. He said these were people he trusted and these were females. Just like with NIPSEY, when he came in here and I asked him to tell me what was going on, and I saw the killer and then his inside, his guts bust open in front of me. And you know what fell out? A woman and hyenas. They were laughing. It was females, hyenas. Even with NIPSEY's situation, it's women's and men's involved. So let me try to hurry up and get to that point. Okay. Dr. SEBI told me that there were people in his camp, mostly female, women he had dealt with and have children. And it was so heated. I don't know what was said, but it became a lot of resentment and it was a lot of heated and even some hatred from those women towards Dr. SEBI, that they said, you know what, it's best, we need to take control of him and take control of this. And he said because he kind of was talking like the accent, he said they had said within themselves, because he's very wise and very strategic. He's slick, real smart. He could see the shit. They were going to kill me and have him face down on, he said he felt like he was stabbed in the back, betrayed, face down, stuck in the back, and they were going to come have him, the foundation is his shit that he created in his company that he was supposed to build, that he was told. It was a reading, a prophecy he got. It was supposed to go worldwide. It was supposed to be nationwide. It was supposed to be every store, every state, and every city. Like in the major stores, the line. That's what he saw. That was the vision. He said, but they said, no, you is not doing the motherfucking thing because of what you done did and the way you carry your damn self. He said, so they decided they were going to get on his back. Still use his name. He said, still use my face. And make my money off of me and not give me none, but still have it out. Really? Nipsey had women's. Still have it where it's like him going on in his legacy, but sock his ass up. He said, so he can't be here to get the benefits. Allegedly. That's what I heard. He said, that's how that shit started. And the energy moved through right to this day. He said, because it's not even as big. His name, his product, the line, the energy, and the impact of it is not as big as he was told it was be, and that was his dream and his vision. This man has not crossed over. SEBI is keep going to the council and asking them to remove the chains and they open the doors because he still wants the dream to manifest. They blocking him. Whoever's involved in this, making money off of his father and brother still living, really store in LA. Okay. Oh, you're talking about NIPSEY or Dr. SEBI? He is saying that he's not reaping the benefits and his spirit is very troubled. Dr. SEBI's spirit is very troubled. And then how Left Eye come and intersected because she was also supposed to expose him to the United States and testify about her healing, and she started doing that. But because who she was dealing with, and she also mentioned Suge Knight and said that Suge Knight said had her doing, she said he was a dirty motherfucker. And he had her doing things she didn't want to do and participating in things she didn't want to do to get a deal when she was with Suge and Death Row. She said he was disgusting. And I said, so he hurt you? She said, yes. And she said he was just a nasty individual and he has no respect for women. And I don't want to say, but I would say allegedly, I kind of got the vibe from when she was saying he made her do sexual things. Which said, Falana, yes, and they will kill him and sue him a fake problem. Damn, I think Nipsey didn't have one or more. Yeah, Ro. I mean, because that's kind of what came up in the reading with Nipsey. I saw a child potential. I saw a three-way relationship. There's a third-party relationship here. But when Left Eye, she was supposed to do it, and you see, she got killed. But what I'm telling you, like she said to me, and I believe, there was a curse put on her. There was a male death spirit stalking her to take her life from her. But I'm telling you, it was one come from Atlanta, and he flew over there with her, and then her luggage and shit permeated around. And then it was another one, about two of them. It was a male and female that were put on over there because of something that went on over there. And I'm going to tell you what she also told me. She was lying. Allegedly, I heard her tell me she was lying. So Wayne is in their car. He said, oh, okay, how? What he say? She told me she wasn't eating all that stuff he gave her and fasting the whole time. She said she got tired of that shit. And she was slick eating junk and getting her something to drink. I don't know if she was smoking weed or if she had smoked weed and drinking. She told me she didn't stick to that shit for 40 days and 40 nights. And I looked at her, I said, well, hey, I guess you can tell me the truth now. It don't really matter. She said, I said, so you sitting up there doing that testimonial and talking about you so free and you clear. Oh, he said it, Howard? Did he think that? She acted like she was so free and clear. And she said, I wasn't. I lied. She said, I can come to, I wasn't right. She said she still wasn't right. I said, okay. And I didn't judge her. I didn't say nothing. And she kept saying she wanted children, but I see a fallopian tube and it looked like a scarring or something. I don't know if she had damage with her female organs, or was it from a disease, STD, something that caused damage to her that maybe she didn't get cleared out in time, or didn't get the right medication, or they didn't flush it or something. But she was saying she missed her life. She missed being here, and she regretted what she had done, and she regretted even how she treated the other girls from TLC. She said, I was just real young. I didn't know, I was just young and being silly. Perhaps, Jay, but I couldn't find it anywhere. If she did, they're keeping her secret for her, because the girls were saying she was never pregnant, never had an abortion. So maybe they're just keeping her secret for her. But she mentioned that to me, but I'm not going to say it because there's no evidence of it. But I do see the damage there on one side of the female organ. So she was just saying she was just young. And if she could go back and do it again, she would. And she didn't know, I guess she didn't have the right people around her to uncross her. So that was also a problem. And what else she said? The boy. There's a little boy that follows her around. But the boy looks like a black shadow. I can see his little clothes. Like he got on little summer clothes and some little shoes. He's a young boy. And I believe that's the 10-year-old boy when she was in Honduras, when she was driving and they hit that little boy. And the boy died instantly. And she started talking about that. I didn't bring it up. She brought it up. That's when I talk about it. I said, I remember. And she said I was wrong. And I said, I see him standing there. She said, I know. He follows me around. We talk. We've talked a long time. We've talked for years. And I looked at him. He wasn't angry, but for some reason he likes her and follows her around. I don't know if he goes sees his mother and his family, but he came in here with her. This was a couple of days ago, and he was standing behind her, and then he stood beside her. And, hey, Bobby. And I looked at the little boy. He wasn't angry with her. She said, he forgives me. And I looked at him, because he's still short. I looked down. He said, I forgive her. I'm not mad at her for hitting me. I'm not mad at her anymore. But the mother, his mother, still hurts for her little boy. And I remember she said she was going to pay for the funeral. But then I heard some people say she didn't pay the mother. Because over there in Honduras, like a wooden casket or something is cheap. But then I seen a report today that said she did pay for the funeral. So I'm not sure, but the mother still felt like there was a debt. And I saw in the documentary where Lisa Left Eye Lopez said that after the little boy died, the family gave her, I love you too, babe, gave her the little boy tennis shoes. And then you could see her say she believed that it was a death spirit on her following her, and she believed that the spirit was on that boy's shoe. That they gave her the shoes like to do a curse on her. A death curse to kill her ass since she hit that little boy. So I'm looking at her, I'm looking at the boy. The boy doesn't disagree. I don't disagree because I'm just listening to what she say. Lisa say she felt that the death spirit that was around her was trying to get to her and got on the boy and hit. That's how they hit the boy. And I don't know if they was in a car, a regular van or something, and killed the boy. Because right after they killed the boy, Lisa got killed in the car. And there was other people in the car. And nobody got killed but her. Out of all them people in that car, and that car flipped Lisa, they got injured a little bit, but Lisa got killed. And I seen her in that little wooden coffin, and she looked just like a little girl, sleep, with her hair sticking up and blood on the side of her face. She just looked like a little sweet baby, just sleep. She don't even look dead. She looked sleep. And I looked at that, and she said, see, so I didn't get to do it for SEBI either. And she know that that's why. And I know that's why, because I seen it when they came in here. Now, the spirit not on the boy, the little 10-year-old that got killed. Hey, Harold. But it's still on her, and it's on SEBI. He mad. So he's standing there. She comes stand beside him. They see each other a lot. The little boy followed them around. And SEBI started talking again. And then I asked, I said, okay, thank you for clarifying that, SEBI, because Dr. SEBI, Alfredo, because they're saying it's because of the direct conspiracy. He said, no, it's indirect. Because Lisa was the first. And this, he said, because of that energy, it moved through. Some more deaths are coming. Oh, yes, baby. Another death gonna come, because that peace with that gang ain't gonna last out there. Some more thing coming up under the current brewing here, because there's more anger and more revenge and regret associated with NIPSEY being killed. That's how the two connect with NIPSEY, because that current with that spiritual attack binding him, because he's saying he's supposed to be, and I believe him, he's supposed to be much bigger, but now the other people are controlling his company. They also control and put their foot on him. He said he was betrayed, and he is very angry. Dr. SEBI has a temper, and he one of them type, once you get him going, and you piss him off, whatever the fuck he want to say, he look you in your damn face and say the shit, and become very, very aggressive. Just whatever come out, he don't give a fuck. I like that. And, okay, so we got that part. I want to show you how those intersect and tie in. Indirect to NIPSEY. Now, when we get to NIPSEY, I'm trying to add everything in here. The leopard came in here, so that would also be the jaguar. And the hyenas. And those are females and the babies. And they started urinating. Just ghetto as fuck. Urinating in front of me. Open this nigga bowels open up, and it's like they came out of his bowels. The one, the shooter, out of his stomach. And when they come out, the females, that's how I know it was a dirty female with that shooter. When I look at his reading, let me tell you something. The same cards that come up, what is name? Eric. Tried to write and keep up with this as much as I can. Eric Holder. The same things come in his reading. Because let me tell you something. I was going to do y'all reading last night. I was so goddamn tired. Probably about 8 or 9. I laid down. I would take a nap. I woke up and I told you I was sorry. Y'all, I couldn't do it. Like after 11 o'clock. I didn't even know what goddamn time it was. I was so damn tired. Overslept. I was supposed to do it at 10. Then I said, I can't do this shit. Because I'm too goddamn tired. This done wore me the fuck out. I will call this part 1 of NIPSEY Hustle. Because I don't know, as things keep progressing, will I come back and give you info. Let me tell you something about Eric Holder. And I know why I saw the hyenas. Because they are females. They are powerful females and males that have made a lot of money off this young man's death. They are making money now. It's pentacles all over the reading. It is also all over the reading that this young man, Eric Holder, I keep picking up he go both ways. He looked like he was assaulted and raped, and also like he messed with little boys, or he likes to torture them. I don't even know if he's ever tortured animals before, as well as he was tortured and molested and abused, and then started to do real sick, sadistic, violent shit. He's a sadist, where he likes to cause pain because this man is a drug addict. He has a fractured mind. He likes to do very vicious and violent things. He's full of anger. He's full of rage. He has several personalities. This man is slow. He will actually take something and be in a daze. He'll just stop and just stare and don't move. And you wonder what's wrong with him, what he's thinking, because there's another personality. His mind is so fractured. There's been a lot of violence around him done to him, and he has done it to others. This man is not stable. He's had some type of mental or psychological work. I don't know if they call themselves changing them or fixing them. They went in this boy's head. This boy's head ain't right. And I can't prove it yet, but I keep seeing he went by that stove. He done been inside of that stove, around there, drove by that stove. But I don't, if somebody can tell me, if they find out later, tell me what the boy in the stove. Because they saying that he wasn't in the stove, that he talked to him outside and he was only outside. And I keep seeing 2 guns. So I don't know what kind of gun the man had. I seen one with a clip, but I seen one with a revolver, and they 2 different colors. One black, but then I see something silver, and it's got a special handle. I don't know if it's a custom handle or something. It's unique. It's more than one. I also see the female, because the way that it came up in the reading and the way that NIPSEY said it to me, it was out of nowhere. The man, nigga, rushed up on him real fast out the blue. And the female that had some money of her own, the car of her own, were independent, was promised some money. She might have already been given some money, but she was promised some money to ride Eric Holder over there. To come in real quick and real fast. And I see him watching NIPSEY. He was around a woman, because there was more than one. The one when the car wasn't out there, she was waiting, but she wasn't standing beside him when he did this. But like it was another woman, and he was real anxious and fidgety, because it shows this man's very young, very immature, very paranoid, always looking around, somebody out to get him. He can't be still. Like he was real nervous and fidgety looking around, and now I know why. Because he had planned to do that. He had scoped the place out, and it also showed me that there was an older man that you cannot see, that is a part of underworld crime. He could be several. Underworld crime, gang, drugs, police, politics. He got a lot of money and a lot of pull. This is an older man that put this young crazy nigga up to this here. And the thing was, I tried to figure it out. That's why I was so tired. I sat there. What keep coming up? I'm going to kill him for you. You going to pay me, and then I'm going to take his place, and I'm going to become the star. I'm going to rise up. I'm going to be celebrated. I'm going to be worshipped. I'm going to have the recognition if you kill him. And then there's a couple of females too. Some of them are older female. A couple of them are young and mothers and have children. Either pregnant now or already have children. The one in the car, I wonder, is she a mother? They gave him a ride and parked in the alley. Is she his baby mama? Or is there another woman that's close, like the baby mama that Eric Holder told? Cause I hear some whispering. Somebody beside the girl in the alley knew about this. She said she didn't know, but she was lying, because she was promised some money if she take him to that alley to shoot that boy, shoot that young man, to pull that off. But there's a mother, a baby mother, and as a result, Eric Holder's coming up as the hangman, and he's off by himself, and they've distanced themselves from him. That have the child by him. He can't see it. They want to separate themselves right now and stay off from him. So I don't know. I know y'all are going to tell me if the woman that gave him a ride in the car is the baby mother. Is she his baby mother? Do she have children by someone else? And do the baby mama know about this and has something to do with it? Because the females was promised money, but now he's the hangman. See, I have to try to figure this shit out. Because it looked like an older man. He come up as the king of Pentacles. So this is a wealthy older man to get his money through gangs, through drugs, the underworld. He stepped to the young one and told him, if you do this, you're going to be I'm going to take care of you. You're going to make a lot of money. And you're going to move up and things. I'm going to help you. But then it looked like there's also an older man. When I looked at this is also becoming a NIPSEY. The killing and then get together was also about real estate. And there was a female that's hiding secrets that's also older that deal with like accounts, tax, contracts, handling also a partner or some with this man that's also a partner. I hate to say this, so I'm going to say allegedly. Allegedly. This body is real estate. And the holdings in it. And you see Eric Holder. Holding, they want this man to manage and control, I must say, this man real estate holdings. As well, make money off his real estate, money off his music. They invested, they're a partner. They had something to do with talking to Eric on the low. Telling him, you do this for me, we keep this on the low. Why? Because I kept seeing pentacles. No, NIPSEY, from what I could see, do not own that property by himself. He do not manage that property by himself. There's somebody on the low that's in there or got something to do with that business or want to control that man real estate. I could be wrong. So I would say allegedly. I seen him talking to Eric Holder, the shooter. And he say, okay, I'm going to give you this amount of money, but you got to do the job first. Now, you got to do the job right. And then once you do the job, you're going to make sure I want him dead. I want him all the way dead, so the nigga go over there and do overkill. Because they asked him, goddamn, why did you have to do overkill? Now, that was too goddamn much. Now, since you went over there and did all that and all that extra shit, he said, well, you said you want to make sure you were dead. But you ain't do that. You done overkill and you done made a spectacle of the shit. Now, I'm not paying you. I'm finna back up. You too hot. You gonna have to... I was gonna pay you better now. Now I'm not. We were gonna do the business. The business was set. But you had to do the deed first. Now you did the deed. Now you done went out and you done went too far. And you overdid. You didn't have to do all that. And now people done saw you and you done made a big scene out this shit. Because that's what it looked like when I looked at the reading. He was out there nervous and fidgety. Had been over there before. Had rolled around over there before. And I'm going to tell you, I seen through NIPSEY eyes for a few minutes yesterday. And I'm not sure. Hey, Shelly. I seen at some point that boy done been over there. And what I seen was a mirror inside of NIPSEY's store. Now, I ain't never been in there. Like I say, I ain't know nothing about it. I seen one towards the middle and I seen one towards the back. I seen the man. So I asked the girl that gave me donation for the reading. I said, give me a picture of the inside of the store. Cause I need to know. Is it a mirror in the store? Because, you know, I don't know nothing about him. I ain't never bought nothing. I ain't seen the store. I never heard of anything till you told me to look. And it's this right here. I said, I see a mirror on the wall. And I see one to the side, like towards the back, middle back of the store, but one in the back. And I seen the boy. I seen NIPSEY like the middleman. Yeah, that is suspect, Lisa. And like these people reincarnate showing back up for this here. They special players been put in plays like this. Because somebody had him put in plays to cover Eric Holder, just like I'm telling you. Somebody older put the younger nigga up to do this shit. And he was promised grandiose things. Plus the older man that deal with the underworld was going to come up even bigger and have holdings in the property and the real estate and the music. If Eric Holder had done this in a clean way, him and the girl that brought him over there and other people on the side were going to make a lot of money, but there are already people making a lot of money now after this boy death because the music and shit skyrocketing and the energy around it and the love for him and making him bigger. Yes, he's standing here now with the bull. Now he looked like the bull head. He's going, yes, he hasn't left. He knows. Nipsey knows. I got in his head for a minute, and I seen 2 men and 1 woman in this that day. And I seen them around the building. And I looked to the back of the stove because the boy, Eric Holder, the shooter, he looked to the back of the stove where I said the mirror was. And I don't know if in the back of the stove is a room or a little small room or a door or something. Somebody was standing to the back, but it was dark like a shadow. And it was a man. And the man was dark-skinned. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Eric Holder, the shooter, looked at the man. The man is friends, allegedly, with Nipsey Hussle. But Nipsey didn't see this. He loved people, loyal to him, high felons. But at that moment, when he got in me and I could look through his eyes for a split second, he said, damn, I just seen something in this person that I never seen before, and I think this person going to have something to do with setting me up. Just like that. The boy synced it, young man synced it. And I said, Nipsey, wait a minute. You're saying that this boy was cutting his eye at somebody you know that were in your stove. He said, yeah, toward the back with a mirror. And I looked at the boy, the man. He was older than Eric Holder, the shooter. He's older than Nipsey. When I looked back, towards the back, to look at the man, like Nipsey was looking at the man, and Eric Holder, the shooter, looked at the man, and in a blink, just in a few seconds, Nipsey felt like they knew each other. And then when Eric Holder, the shooter, looked at Nipsey's older friend, his friend started like that. Like, see, I don't trust a shifty eye nigga. I definitely don't fuck with a shifty eye bitch. That they can't look at you, and when they repeat some shit, they stumble, they leave shit out. Like that shit there, but you was there, but your ass got to think and look around and shit, and your eyes is beady. I seen that for a few seconds. No, he ain't had nobody go when he was shot. He wasn't supposed to be over there. He come over there right quick to get his friend some clothes that just got out of jail. He wasn't even supposed to be over there. He just decided to do it to be a good Samaritan that day. And somebody knew that he was going over there and didn't have no bodyguards. So he was just doing it off the fly. He wasn't supposed to be over there. There wasn't no bodyguards and there wasn't nobody armed that day, which I think is really strange because your buddy is there with you, but your buddy ain't got nothing hot on him. See, he ain't got nothing hot on him. He just being, a good person that day, and someone knew it, and he was being watched, okay? And he said it was a baby, which I seen on the picture. It was a woman, a mother nearby, okay, Bonnie, and the child nearby. So I said, I wonder, was it his children? Because then I started seeing, I know he has a daughter, I think 2 daughters, a son. I don't know if there's another one I don't know about that's going to come up. I saw them standing near him in the spirit because he was very concerned about him. And he said they rushed up on him. He said it happened so quick that he did not see it coming. And when I looked at the cards, it showed the young man that's very immature and very impulsive and quick. He comes up as the Knight of Wands. They rush in real quick. They do what they got to do, some fuck shit, and then they rush out as fast as they come. But he has to do I guess some actor shit, or like he auditioning for a fucking movie role, do that extra overkill ass shit and keep turning around coming back. Shooting that boy, and then just made just an idiot. A very violent, unstable, erratic idiot. And the person that saw him do that like that said, I'm going to have to back up and cut you loose. I'm going to let you go. You're going to have to go to jail for this. And then he tried to leave. It showed that he's going to leave and say, no, that couldn't have been me because I was in Vegas. They tried to give him that and then try to go back in the mental institute. That's a mirror to the soul. Well, Shelley, I'm saying allegedly because he synced it for a few seconds. I synced it through his eye and I said, I ain't going to say who I think it is. Because I already seen one of the ones I think it is. That's allegedly. And I ain't going to get into it. Okay? Because I see all the different players up in involved. And when he saw that, he said, it was too late then. And they say he was outside, and all of a sudden he said they come up, and they do this to him. And I see the woman waiting, the man waiting. There were several people. And I'm telling you, the person, one of the peoples was there. And watch that boy do that dirty shit he did. And kicked that boy like that and shot that boy in his... I'm telling you. One of the ones that has something to do with it watched. And it really didn't bother him too bad. So him. Then I look here because I asked him. And there was a struggle because he had been through a lot of struggles in life. And he's very heartbroken about this. And it shattered relationships. It shattered the love relationship they had. And his spirits were all around him when this was happening to him, trying to protect him. And it's also showing his mother. And he was telling me this abruptly broke a lot of people's hearts. And this was inside. And this was a three-way. There were three main people involved in doing this to this young man. And I asked him about it. And the three... Let me show you this. This tripped me out. The Tower and the Three of Swords. And I asked about the Three of Swords. And I got this. We showed he was tied. He was murdered. And while he was being stabbed, he was laying on the ground. He was still trying to hang on. And it was very difficult. I see something happen to his lung. And the lung, I started seeing one started to collapse. He was having trouble trying to hold on and breathe. But he was fighting. And then the head wound. He was trying to stay alive, but it was hard to stay alive because he had been hit so bad and mortally wounded. And I said, who? I asked about the 10 of Swords. I said, who, Nipsey? Who? Aramias Ashkidam, please? Because he come up as a beautiful little boy when I called that birth name. I said, who did this? He do this. An old friend. That is an older man, underworld related. There was an older man that get his money in the underworld and drug activity, organized crime related. An old friend. As you can see, it's not just me. It's not just NIPSEY said that to me. It's not just me saying it. The cards, I asked the question. NIPSEY, tell me. That's a big deck. Out of all them cards, them two, he said, my old friend. That I thought was my old friend. Kill me. And I said, damn, you just read on point with this shit here. Let me go get dressed. I'm going to put part 1 out. And it keeps showing me women and men. I don't want to say this, you know, This kept coming up, and it also came up in Eric Holder, the shooter. Right here, some vicious lies being told. And there's an independent woman here that's also got money and gonna make money off of some treachery and thievery. That boy was being watched. He was being spied on. He was being stalked. He was being stolen from. And then allegedly Dr. SEBI told me that there was something going on in that boy's store with merchandise and money. Allegedly. He said, check the goddamn ledger. Check the book. I said, Dr. SEBI, how am I going to check the goddamn book? I don't know these people. I can't just zoom over there in my damn mind. Look at the fucking book. He said it's 2 books. I said, so one book said one thing, another book said another thing. Allegedly, if I heard the right thing, he said it's been problems. Now, I know NIPSEY's not there all the time running the store. I know I looked in the video, they said a father run the store, but you know, that man not always there. I think that's an older man, said NIPSEY was advised not to put that store in Crenshaw. Really? And then it was also saying you got a mixture of people in that neighborhood where he was at. You got people with money. You got riffraff. You got people ain't got no money. You got gang bangers. You got politicians that control things. You got organized crime. Like where he was is a mixture of things. Mixtures of people, mixtures of ideas. Always shit going on. I don't know. I've never been there. This is alleged, if I'm interpreting the reading correctly, what he told me, and then what I looked at, and his ancestors came in here. It was really weird. That's why I said I didn't finish it all, and I need to back up off of it because it's so many spirits in my house that I'm exhausted. And there's a woman in here that's extremely angry. She comes up as a queen of swords. She ain't having this shit. She ain't taking this shit. Now Lisa wasn't that smart. She is now. That she can think about it. But she can't come back and redo it in that body. It's the justice card is coming up here with news, but also it's not complete justice. I asked him what happened to you. I know it's him because this is what he said happened to him. He knows that his body was killed. And it was a learning. He said he was trying to pull away from this guy, the shooter. He made it clear, I don't want anything to do with you. Because he knew about him. Stay away from me. And this guy already knew. He said that he was going to do this. He said, this is what happened to me. I said, goddamn. So you know. He said, yes. And the high priestess kept coming up with his secrets. A woman that is nice, that's ladylike, that handles business, but is passive and holds the secrets. This is about money and hearing good news about the man being shot so that they could come up and get money and take property and do business deals, because there were 3 of them that is also showing here. God damn, my candle done went out and it's storming like a motherfucker here. Now NIPSEY is a hangman. He's stuck. He's dealing with depression. He's like, y'all told me it wasn't going to be this. Y'all said y'all weren't going to get me out of this and that I was going to come up off this, and he was already counting the money. But he fucked up because this fucker got a mental problem. And now the people that hired him are doing this. We don't know you. We'll help you get represented. But all the deals and stuff that we told you we're going to do this, we're going to do that, you're going to get your pay, you're going to try. That's off. Because this is off. You are going to handle this. I know you don't think you're stupid enough to fucking talk. We know you ain't going to do that shit. Or you know what that is, nigga. You ain't going to be breathing either. But it's off. Because of the way, yes it do. Because of the way that it was done. And then I saw NIPSEY's father and the ancestors. Let me tell you something. Y'all probably going to think this is crazy, and I've never seen this before. I saw NIPSEY laying down And people were telling me, I said, where is he shot, in the front or the back? Because the spirits keep telling me to look at the back of the central nervous system. I started doing a medical reading, and then the people I talked to said, no, he was shot in the front. But then I said, no, the spirit's telling me to look at the back of the central nervous system and the back of the brain and the spinal cord, that is a lot of damage. And then the nerves I saw come out of the back, and they told me, no, that's not possible, Alexyss. It's the front. I said, well, maybe I'm tired, maybe it's me, so I'm not going to say anything. Plus, I don't want to upset the family by saying that, in case they don't want anybody to know or they don't want to hear, because I'm sure they know. I said, well, I'll just write it anyway. They're telling me I'm wrong, but the spirit is saying it's in the back and it's in the brain. And then Sam said, yes, it's also back there. They hit me back there, too, in California. So I didn't have confirmation, so I did it anyway. And then the spirit said, look at the bullet hole. I want you to tell you something. When you look at the bullet hole, I said, how in the hell am I going to look at the bullet hole? I don't even know what the bullet holes are. They just said torso, head. And then the brother yesterday says leg, back of the head. I said, okay. So I'm not crazy. That is the back of the head. And that's why I saw the brain and spinal cord, and they kept showing me the back of the head. Yes, but they didn't say where, Anna. So the spirits are telling me to look at the hole. I gotta find where the hole is. I don't know where the hole is. So they're telling me one main was back here. And then I see the chest. So somewhere here. And I'm also seeing a lung and ribs. Lung damage. Couldn't breathe out of the lung. Thank you. I don't want to fuck your name up. Janelle. Okay. Yes. So you know I'm not looking at autopsy report because it's not out. And I see this all damaged. That's when I got the confirmation, because everybody told me I was wrong. It was the front. They saw him laying on the back. They said, how could he be shot in the back when he was laying on his back? It was the front. Okay, fine. So I just kept writing in private, kept to myself for the brother say. I said, okay, I'm not crazy. That's what they said. Then I saw the front, and I saw something up near the chest. As I'm looking inside of the hole, because I don't know what type of gun, I see two for some reason, and nobody can confirm what I'm seeing. Maybe nobody saw them. Maybe somebody secretly saw he had more than one option, or somebody else could have been holding one, but I see more than one. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. As I'm looking, these ants, huge ants, in the ether, in the spirit, start walking across the parking lot as he leaks, as the blood is coming out of the wound. The blood is crying out. That's like Christ. He's on the cross and he was crying out because he's also was a sacrifice and crucified. NIPSEY was the bull that is now being resurrected as we speak. The blood, for some reason, because I know, I'm getting chills, he was attached to California and the relatives here. The ancestors are upset in Eritrea and Ethiopia because they're in tombs and graves and they want to be acknowledged here. They've wanted to be acknowledged for years. They want to come here. And they wanted people to be told about them and introduced to this culture here and to the United States. They wanted to cross over the sea. I saw the father, and the father I saw run because there was war, and the dead ancestors that are on his father, some of them said they didn't make it and they didn't get to come with the father and they didn't get to meet NIPSEY and the children, but they know him and they are proud of him. And they say he didn't come back there to be with them, to spend time with them, and to take all of their customs, their spiritual beliefs, and their names and who they are and their pictures, and do something. They wanted him to do something with them here, to merge them and introduce them to us here in the culture that he was there in LA, the city of the lost angels, to help him find them. And then the father ran and left people behind over there to come from war, because it was like a life or death. And then he gets here to run from the war. But then the NIPSEY is a warrior and a soldier growing into a general and a great leader. So he takes up what the father runs from. Those ancestors were in NIPSEY. He was doing it a different way. And still a warrior, still in battle, still in a war to lose his life. But he took it anyway. He took on the calling. He's a little boy, a beautiful little boy. He was very special, very, very intelligent, very genius-like mind as a little boy. But that's the other side. That would be Armias. Then the other side that gets into the American part, and that war zone, that form of war was the gang culture, was NIPSEY. You're two people, but the very high vibrating, very powerful, very educated, genius one is Armias. So he's two people in two worlds, but being led by the higher spiritual self from the father's ancestors is Armias. Ash Gidam. I'm talking to both of them. The brilliant boy is still there carrying out the will of the ancestors on the father's side. So when he's laying there and the blood is leaking, I'm looking in the hole. As the blood leaks and the fluids leak from the body, there's a telephone, there's an internet call, an ethernet call that's moving through the universal matrix, because he also came up to me as Neo from the first matrix, because he did not know that the matrix was a projection and that it was an illusion. He's seeing now. So he was caught in it, and now he's moving through it, and he's beginning to resurrect, and his eyes are open. So they started coming to me. The animals heard it. I don't know if you all know this, but you can go research this. Whenever there's a tsunami, whenever there's an earthquake, you don't see the animals caught in it and fucked up dead, because they get the call first through the grapevine in the goddamn ground in the ether, because they're close to there and they pay attention to the shit. You taught not to pay attention to the shit. Yeah. So it was an ant. And when I started looking at pictures of Eritrean ants and Ethiopian ant, I saw the same ant. It's a super strain of ant that is from Africa, that live in Eritrea and live in Ethiopia. It's big and it's black. There was a whole swarm of them. They started walking across the parking lot, and there's a matrix with his blood and his body with those ancestors in it. And now I know why it's so strong, because Samael, when he kept calling Samael to me Monday, was right there beside him, which has the same blood and the same ancestors. So his blood cry out. Yes. Because the other one I got tonight, it was the ant. He surrounded his body. He climbed up the body, because there's an ethernet wall around every body. Circled him and then circled the stove. Went inside him and circled the wall. That's how I saw the mirror. I said, let me see in this stove. Let me see what you need to see. What I need to see. What do you see? Who did this? Who was involved? They went in the stove. And the ants climbed the walls of the ether net, because that's his, and his blood was, and his energy was in this stove, the matrix of it. They started climbing the grid, hanging on the grid, sticking to the grid, and reflecting, had a reflective membrane in the body of the ants. They jet black. So I synced it, and I said, y'all, see, can you help me find a picture? And they did. Y'all can find it online. It's a picture, a mirror of that in that boy's stove. And I seen the boy, the older man in the back, like that, before this shit happened. And then I come downstairs, And everywhere I'm looking, because I have like the lighter towel on the floor, so I'm getting me something, making something to eat. I'm looking and I see something jumping, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I look and I can see the image of a big black spider. It's following me, and it keep jumping. And I said, why is this black spider keep jumping around me? What are you trying to tell me? So I look up Eritrean spider, an Ethiopian spider. There's a spitting spider that jumped. I said, what does spider do? It eats ants. You peeped that? The ant surrounded and has the blood come from the blood of his daddy's peoples. The ancestors that are in the tombs over in Eritrea and Ethiopia. They connected with that species of ant. They come see about him. I'm so glad you said that, Ro. Cause I trying to say that, but I ain't want to say that. That magic, baby. And them ancestors working it now. Finna be some more shit out there. Let me look at it, cause I had wrote this shit down. Cause I ain't never seen no shit like this. And it also showed one of his arteries or something was torn through. And trauma to the skeleton, rib cage, low body, around the guts too. Reproductive organs. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can tell y'all the spider. Because there's so much in here. I just want to give y'all something. Let me see, can I find, cause I wrote it down. I'll put it under the video if I don't have it wrote down, because I thought y'all was going to think for sure I'm crazy to see this. Okay, it's the, I didn't write it, I got it on the, I'll tell you on the phone because I don't know it by heart. Then, what I saw, the spider's a spitting spider. What I want to say I noticed about that, the ant, this is a super ant. It dominates wherever it go. It's very vicious and protective, and it's big and black. It's a whole list of ants in Eritrea, but this one's like the top of it, and this ant don't play. Because it's a super ant. It doesn't evolve. So really, I got to see what it do if it eat other ants, but it's very vicious. It can be violent. Then the spider hopping around. Then I looked at that. The spider spit on a motherfucker and jump round. And it eat ants. I look at it like this. Okay. I sense it's female. I sense it's male, but also sense it's female too. Because the ant protects him and started fortifying the field. And all the ants start coming over across the sea to get here, like the daddy did. But then there's a spider somewhere in this motherfucker that trying to eat up the ants, which hang on the matrix. His matrix, that is the fortress that builds the universal wall around his cell. So they're trying to eat his protection, eat his security, his divine inheritance and bloodline. That's how I took it. Oh, that lightning just shot down. I seen it through the blind, lit up. And then another, let me tell you what came up today when I looked back at the central nervous system at the whole. A cobra. Here we go again. I'm looking at Eritrean cobra, Egyptian cobra. The Ethiopian cobra. It's talking to me. And it's with NIPSEY. It's in his bloodline, and it's in the back where the shot in the central nervous system. And that will make sense because the spinal cord is the kundalini. That's what kundalini rise up, coil at the base of the spine and come up. And it looked at me and it's connected to the Elohim, and when the blood and the plasma and the water, the trauma, the commitment, the lies, the scandal, the deceit, the ancestors are hugging him. They're wrapping around him, and the snake is stuck in the plasma of the electromagnetic grids of the layers of his matrix wall. He's surrounded by this red and black spitting cobra. So goddamn, I got a spitting hopping spider and a spitting damn cobra at the same damn time, with some hyenas giggling, plotting this shit, male and female. So I said, you know what, this shit done wore me out so bad. Let me get me something to eat and drink. I'm just gonna take me a hot ass bath. And I drawed the snake, and I laid down, and I in the tub. I said, you just gonna have to talk to me in the goddamn tub on this bullshit called, I don't know what the fuck, y'all. He got some heavy ass ancestors and spiritual shit that boy had with him, that they were trying to help him bring through on this side. So even if they don't understand, you're jealous of that young man, you want to take that young man's place, you want to take his life, it's not going to happen, because that was his destiny based on his bloodline and based on the ancestors that brought that young man here, sent his daddy. God damn, that lightning struck so hard, it just felt like it was finna hit me through the damn window. They brought them, had the daddy run over here to the city of Los Angeles to meet the mother to do this here. So they cannot have that boy legacy. It's not going to work to do that to that boy, that young man, that baby. Because I keep seeing the little him. He was so cute. When he was a little boy, that pretty hair. He like a little doll baby. And this snake is very, Naja, that's the first name, Naja. It's a venomous cobra, very, very venomous, with some damn long ass damn hollowed out goddamn knives in their mouth, damn needles in his damn mouth. He's protecting him, okay? Oya Shango Ogun. Yes, because Ogun was all over it from the very, very beginning. What else? I tried to give you enough, y'all, to go on as the first one, because it's so much. I didn't get to look at Prodigy yet and ODB. I like ODB. So to look at one, I got to look at both, because Prodigy has started to break it down for me. I hope that I gave you enough to start with. Oh, yes. And dealing, this would also bring up Jesus, since it's representing him in the 33, and Galagos, the Temple of Skulls. We're also dealing with the Nimrod Ishtar Tammuz again, because I'm telling you. And then we know MLK was killed April 4th, so that's like, what, 4 days after NIPSEY, so he's in that energy. And Anubis has come up here. Hathor, Horus, the moon, Osiris. He's also coming up as the Lion of Judah, John the Baptist. And I don't know if you all know it, but there's a feast for John the Baptist that is coming up in the summer, a few days after the summer solstice. All of these things do have meaning. You cannot deal with the universe without dealing with numbers. When you deal with planets, when you deal with astronomy, when you deal with astrology, the universe is built on a matrix, and that matrix is controlled by numbers. Quantum math, you cannot say that doesn't exist. You cannot say we have to ignore this. I held this because I see the backlash and the attack people get to say it's a conspiracy, and I'm not trying, please, I'm not trying to do that. To me, a conspiracy is something you cannot prove. You're just talking out of your ass. Some of the things I mentioned here, I can prove because they've already happened. We talk about Martin, that happened. We talk about John the Baptist, that happened. We talked about NIPSEY's death and the things we know to line up the reading. We know that happened. When we're talking about the anniversary of ATL, that happened. What else? Some of the things when I'm mentioning the animals, you go look them up. Those are real. Those are not, some of these things I'm saying are not my imagination. We're talking about Ogun. We know that is a real Orisha. I keep getting to surveillance. I don't know where it is around there. This is going to sound pretty, it's sick to me. I feel like someone else watched that ambush, that slaughter, and could have done something, and they did not. If I didn't mention again in detail, this high priestess to me deals with deals, contracts, and commerce. She comes off very easy to deal with. The Three of Pentacles deals with money deals, bookkeeping, secretary. So this ties to books, ledgers, money, product, merchandise, warehouse. These things are interplay now. There's a lot of arguing and conflict, and people are talking about these things. And they're talking about real estate and property and divisions and what we're going to do, who's going to do it, how we're going to do it. Also comes up organized crime, neighborhood gangs, mafia, powerful family, riffraff, controlling things, political powers. This is yin and yang, black and white, poor and rich, up and down. And then when I look at the Four of Swords, when he said, I look at the Tower and the Four of Swords, this is something, this is dealing with somebody cheating someone, trying to cheat them and take something from them. This is dealing with death. This is dealing with Hermes and the underworld, because it's like this. Happens so fast. And then it's also showing levels here of organized crime that are not going to be prosecuted associated with this murder, this slaughtering of this God that was rising to take his place, the great bull. Okay. The police are investigating. They're looking at from the most logical to the craziest. They are looking into this. They are working on this. I don't see that they're going to let it go. You said, so what about the unity walking all the game? No, that's fine. You're right. That's Mercury. And it goes back to, I think I mentioned Mercury before. I mentioned Mars. It's over Leo. Sun and Mars. It's over Leo. I'm sure that will work for a minute. But something underneath there, people underneath there, something is going to come out. Somebody going to hear something going to be said. And somebody within those groups is there's going to be some more violence. Because of something that's said, and something around this man being hurt, and some lied, and someone not loyal. Something else is going to come out of it, but I could be wrong. So we're going to watch this to see, because this was a violation. That man was not supposed to be touched like that. That wasn't supposed to be done to that man like that. And someone older told him, this is what I want you to do this. And this is an idiot. This guy's unstable and moves around, has mental issues, has head issues, has sexual issues, has a lot of trauma and violence issues. Now I know you're not asking me that. I know you're not asking me that. Eli, you must just be putting that statement out, asking anybody in the fucking room or chat that you ask them that question, right? I ain't gonna answer that shit. I ain't with that situation. I ain't with that shit. Nah. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know when part 2. I'll watch it because it's so many heavy spirits here. I gave him an offering. What he asked for is very weird. The way the candle did, the candle cracked. All the wax came out the goddamn candle and roll completely around the damn bottom and mold itself around the damn bottom. NIPSEY candle. He asked me for the candle. I went and got it. Got up, and it was perfectly molded around the outside of the bottom. I've never had a candle do that before. With the wick still intact in the middle. I'm going to show it to you. Take a picture of it and show it to you. And I said, wow, what are you trying to tell me? Yes, I wrote it down. They said the ant is a Ethiopian / Eritrean ant called Lepidopsida canescens. I'm going to have to put that in now so y'all can look at what I'm saying. And the father, oh my God, oh, what has scared the shit out of me? Somebody just walked in here. Y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope they said somehow to get away with drivers not charged. You're absolutely right. And I think there's a method to that madness. I think we'll probably hear something else about that driver. And I hear chatter in the ethers. I hear gossip. So something that she says or whispering or somebody else she's saying it to might end up saying things anonymously. This might not be the end of her. They might not be just letting her go and not dropping it. We don't know why. So let's watch that and see what happens. Yeah, there's political unrest there. War zone. This is not going to last with them. There's too many other things, and his relatives are all around him. He's around his relatives. He mentioned in his grandmother, his mother, his father. I think he has more than one brother. I'm not sure how many. But the main one, and the children, and Lauren. But he's very, very close to Samael. He loves him. I'm sure Samael knows it and feels him around him and loves him so much. They love each other. That family loves each other and they love him. He's so special. This is going to be a hurt that lasts so long. This has created such a tear. Such a hurt to that family. Such a hole in that family. So fucked up. And he was just in his prime getting ready to ascend. He's still ascending, but he wanted to ascend in the body. He was supposed to bring change in the body. And it was going to affect there and the world. And again, like Dr. SEBI said, other people are going to stand on his slaughtered body. The slaughtered bull of the great bull. And they're going to reap the rewards that belong to him and his ancestors. It's so goddamn fucked up out of stuff. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank y'all for being patient and waiting on me because I couldn't do it last night. You know me. I'm going to come to you all every chance I get because I appreciate you being here. I'm literally starting to feel so heavy now. These spirits start to come down on me, and I just, I don't want to do that to y'all again because I know how they are. And if I let them do it, they'll get in me and start talking some more shit. And I'm tired. I'm already damn wore out, and they're trying to do it because I'm starting to damn lean. And I ain't drunk. So, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope SEBI ain't finna cuss me out tonight. No damn more. At least not this week. Oh, the lightning just shot through the damn window again. And I love y'all feedback. Yes, the energy's still very heavy, child, because they here. See, I don't make them leave. Even though they wear me out, I enjoy them. I'm honored that they come here. I never spent that much time with Dr. SEBI. And I learned so much from all the spirits. I love that. So many animals in here. I feel like I'm in the jungle with NIPSEY's reading because they talk. And they're ancestors too. And the ancestors used these animals. So they come talk to me. Isn't it super strong? Because he's here. He's tall, very thin. Beautiful. We've gotten along so well. His energy is so beautiful. He's so easygoing now. I seen him slap a nigga now. I seen on TMZ that last year, him and Lauren was out and they was at some event. And I said, I like him already. Okay, slap a nigga down in the street. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, I started liking him then. And when I seen him with little self dancing on there, that video, that favorite one, he said, them niggas. I said, wait, I like him. He reminded me of Pac and Snoop. So I'm just bouncing, I'm tweeting it, I'm Facebooking. I said, now he have got a new fan out of me. And then his energy, when he come talk to me, is so loving. He's real cool with me. He wasn't disrespectful. He wasn't even angry when it came to me. We was just chilling. I said, you want something to eat? He said, no. She want some water? He said, no, let's go get me a candle. And I said, say, Dr. Sebi, you want something to eat? He said, no. So you want some water? You want a candle? No, I have to tell you and start cussing against them. Say, look. So Sebi just want to order me around. Child, yes, I liked it that then. We slapped that. I liked that right there. I like a nigga like that. I know when I'm out, I ain't got to worry about shit. Got a nigga like that. What? Who? I like that right there. Anyway, y'all, because I'm leaning on one side. And I don't want it to get, y'all see my ass like I was last week. So, I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I'll try to come back soon, y'all. Yes, the energy is very strong. I can feel him. Thank y'all. Y'all can welcome to download this reading. Please click like on the reading. Please share the reading so more people know about me, who I am, and what I do. And, you know, I'll see you privately when you need me to. And I love y'all. And I'll be back soon.